Carl here from Games, Brains and Headbanging Life, gbhblofficial.com for short. Got a review of the new Keloid album. A band that has been doing this for more than a decade, producing some of the most mind-altering, genre-expanding music whilst gaining a reputation album on album for never musically standing still. With a style that has altered, evolved and grown in confidence over the years, it still remains true to a sound that is uniquely Keloid. There's no band out there quite like them. That statement, 100% true. If you know Keloid, you know how unique they are. And of course, the British metal prog rockers are set to release their fifth full length called Family the Smiling Thrush via Ripple Music on June 4th, 2021. I only came across Keloid an album ago, and from that moment on I was absolutely sold on them. A massive fan, enough to go all the way back through the history, and to be following along with them on this musical journey. When I call them a unique band, a unique metal band, it's not hyperbole. They generally are one of the most exciting units out there today. This new album really surprised me, in the sense, not that it surprised me that, oh my god, Keloid are doing something so very weird and different and that's not like them. That's always what they do, but it surprised me because 5 albums in, they still have this incredible level of energy, but also this incredible level of, what's the word I'm looking for, experimentation. So even if you fell in love with previous records, you're going to come into this one and you're going to get something that's fresh and new and very interesting, and most importantly, challenging. It's why I'm already citing this record, even before I get into the tracks as this review goes on, I'm citing this record as the best album of 2021. Big words, I know, especially as of the time of recording, we're only in May. And the first thing that sort of surprised me was that it'd been 3 years since Keloid's Melted on the Inch. That was the album that just blew me away. The first album I ever heard by the progressive metalers. And as I said already, it made me an instant fan. Easily one of the best things in British rock and metal right now. I'd go further now after re-listening to the album over and over again to kind of go worldwide with that statement. But if you're unconvinced by that, just listen to this new album, Family the Smiling Thrush. An album that is every bit the Keloid we love, but more importantly, it is a developed and forward-thinking Keloid. As progressive as ever, as chunky and groovy as ever, as harmonious and heavy as ever. This is one of the most exciting things you will hear all year. That it is also so heavily focused on positivity makes it all the better. The sort of feeling many of us need in, let's be honest, these pretty constant, trying times, whatever country you live in. It's a wild but captivating ride. That should be obvious if you've been a fan of Keloid for some time. But if this is your first foray into their brand of driven and focused madness, then be prepared for some drooling as your mouth falls agape, wide open for around 46 minutes. And what an opener Orang of Noyen is. 9 thrilling minutes that fly by in a third of that time. The off-kilter melody broken up by heavy thrusts. The wonderful harmonization of all the instruments. It's spectacular to the ears and the mind. It makes you feel good and even more excited for what is going to come next. Talking of which, Gentle Clovis. Oh man, I'm going to talk about this track. It has a playful groove that gets more and more robust sounding as it goes on. Moving melodies that shake and fit, a wild bout of progressive heaviness, and a constant feeling that it can go anywhere at any time, and Keloid will make it work. You know, it'll go mental 1 second, it'll chill out the next, and it will all sound so seamless. Although that also applies to the album as a whole. It's not like the flurry of instrumentation that dominates on Hats the Mandrill is any less eclectic, nor is the battle of touching melody and growling heavy rhythm that makes Smiling Thrush so very enjoyable. It is so addictive, so much so that getting through the entire album actually takes a while, as each track needs immediate replay. Who doesn't hear the progressive beasts and veritable headbangers that are Cecil, Succulent and Grendel, and just want to listen to those specific tracks over and over again before you move on to the next one? You know, I've probably spent a good 2 hours trying to get through this album for the very first time. Oh well, all good things must come to an end, and Family the Smiling Thrush is not a short album. It just feels like it is because of how much it draws you in, sits you down comfortably, and then performs a gobsmacking showcase of musical magic. The final track is Flat Controller, and it is the perfect mix of hard-hitting boss Keloid rock, proggy melody, and weird groove. Outstanding. Not just that finish, but the album as a whole. I hope I've sold it to you. I hope if you've never heard of Boss Keloid or you've never given him a chance, I hope you're thinking, yep, I'm going to check this bad boy out on June 4th. If you're a regular Boss Keloid fan, you're probably nodding in agreement, going, yep, they've done it again, according to me anyway. You might hear it and think very, very different. I don't see how that would be possible, considering it's one of those albums where I'm like, I feel like I could play it to anybody, and they'll be like, wow, that's incredible. Even if rock and metal isn't into their taste, they'd still be able to acknowledge the incredible musicianship and instrumentation that appears on this album. It is incredible. It is one not to be missed. In my opinion, it's likely to be #1 come the end of the year best album lists. But of course, we still have many, many months to go. I just can't see this being toppled at this stage. Family the Smiling Thrush, out on June 4th by Ripple Music. Check it out, please, and let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts, and of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal, what else is life for?